Now boarding for Rebuild of Joycast, your weekly destination for anime, manga, and more.
Val, Doron Dororon has been canceled.
Oh yeah, you showed me this in like the middle of the night, and at the time I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? Oh, okay then.
End of an era.
You know, like he's had it out longer than like I think either of us thought it would be out for.
Yes, I mean more than anyone thought. I think even Jump was surprised how long they let this thing slide. But let's preface this, Val. Doron Dororon is a manga by Gen Oosuka. We love him because of another canceled series he did in the past called Golem Hearts, which we both agree is the far superior series and it should not have gotten canceled. Doron, on the other hand, so basically when we first started our live show / podcast Saturday Jump, this was one of the very first things we ever talked about, was just how horrifying this series is, and the fact that it is the bare minimum grab. It's bottom line premise. It's clearly, like, anytime we talk about adaptive storytelling, this is the most adaptive it freaking gets. But
it
that's
jumped on
not
the Demon Hunter hype train. That's
exactly. That's
I think that's all it
Demon
really
Hunter.
did. I know it was boringly written, and it was like explaining pie charts and stuff. I remember that's what.
Yeah,
you said
that's the true crime. That is the true crime, was the fact that it literally explains itself in paragraphs and pie charts, and explains the pie charts in paragraphs. It's not a manga. It's a freaking textbook, is what it is. And it's just so unfortunate, again, because we like Gen Oosuka, but we just don't like this particular story. And it's a shame. And so, like I said, it became like our whipping boy in Saturday Jump, and then when we started doing Joycast here, we tried to avoid it as much as possible. Because it's like, you can only beat a dead horse so much. But now the horse has officially died. But now that being said, I don't want to dance on someone else's grave here, alright? That's what I don't want to do here. I never celebrate the cancellation of something unless it's actually problematic. There was nothing problematic about Doron Dororon. It was just misguided because, I mean, I can't imagine how difficult it must be to get published in Jump, let alone stay published in Jump. I feel like most of the inadequacies that we complain about here on this podcast mostly stems from the fact that it's an attempt to appeal to as wide an audience as possible, and in doing so, you accidentally isolate more specific people like us. And that's what happens. And that's what happened with Doron Dororon. This Gen had unfortunately, I'm gonna call him Gensei from this point forward, to be as both reverent and irreverent as possible, because I have a love-hate relationship with this guy, but mostly a lot of love, and I'm still rooting for this guy. And I feel like Gensei was like, he got a little disheartened after Golem Hearts and went, alright, that was a very specific premise and a very fun one, and it just didn't grab readers for some reason. Now I'm going to cast as wide as possible. And he succeeded. He got 36 chapters in, casting the widest net.
Was it only 36 chapters?
You say only 36 chapters, but
I know
God,
that's a lot. I know. I realize.
Hunter's Guild only got like 15, 18 chapters.
Time moves slower for me. That's why it's like, oh, really?
Yes. I like I said, I think when this got canceled, literally all the comments were, this got 36? Which surprised me, like, the people, again, because this is why I don't want to dance on his grave, because I'm seeing a lot of grave dancing in the discourse, where, when this was coming out, a lot of people were defending it. Because and here's what to defend. It was a pretty fun first chapter. The art was good, so I did some, perusing, because I didn't want to talk completely out of my ass on this. So I read those 36 chapters total. I read them. The art does start to get rough. And I think that's just deadlines impacting. Once you're established, like, alright, I can take my foot off the gas pedal. Kind of the anti-Horikoshi, where Horikoshi right now is like giving us his awe because he plans to die after this is done, apparently.
I actually saw a pretty interesting thing about that, actually, by a comic artist that I really like and I've like spoken to and everything.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you about that in a second. Carry
no,
on.
actually, that's a great time to bring it up. Bring it up right now.
Oh, okay then. Well, you see, Raven Perez, comic artist of this really lewd, cartoony comic called Raven's Dojo that I used to love when I was younger. Really pulpy, the kind of thing that I love. And he was talking about the fact that Horikoshi operates more like, I don't know, a comic book artist where he's really not looking for like all that much detail everywhere except for like in these very specific areas. But it's like, you know how you look at Horikoshi's art and it's like, I don't quite feel the characters moving in when they're running or anything. Do you get what I'm talking about?
I really like Horikoshi's style.
Oh no, I do too. It still look good. It really works. But that's the thing. He's just trying to like...
I think his movement's great. I actually think his movement's great. I think back to scenes like Ida's costume falling apart during the
No, the pose is
fight.
strong. It's strong,
Look at Mirko's sense of motion. What my issue with Horikoshi is his action choreography, the way he frames it. He's definitely improved since the biggest culprit is the overhaul arc. That even
we're talking about Chainsawman. I was saying Chainsawman.
You said Horikoshi.
I must have gotten fucking confused. My
Did you
apologies.
get confused?
I was talking about Chainsawman. I could have sworn I said Chainsawman.
you said Horikoshi. You didn't even say Chainsaw Man. You said Horikoshi.
Oh, okay, that's where I fucking went wrong.
Okay, so rewind.
Okay, rewind, yeah.
Action
Cut that from
scenes.
the record, please.
Fujimoto. Don't cut it from the record because it's actually very interesting to bring up Horikoshi versus Fujimoto because I think Horikoshi's sense of motion, again, as we just said, and its details fucking great. But just his action choreography, his set pieces, they have improved, and I think currently they are.
Yeah,
at their
Stars and
best.
Stripes was absolutely fucking sick, but
yeah,
even then, it was
but
like...
the overhaul arc since then, like, even Horikoshi himself literally cites that arc as an embarrassment. He says himself he was very embarrassed to have that be animated.
But Fujimoto,
I got going to Fujimoto effectively draws manga like cinematic storyboards.
Mm-hmm.
They're meant to be dragged animatically across the screen.
Yeah, no, they're definitely good for that. Chainsaw Man is absolutely like really good to edit and everything. Actually, when
they do manga PVs, I'm sure they're a wet dream because the character models are very like flatly on top of what's behind them. They're very easy to cut around. But yes, you are correct. There's a issue of sense of motion. He's got a very samey style. He's got one face, but I think that's also the merit of that's the joy of reading a Fujimoto work is the fact that you recognize a very specific sense of motion and face. He doesn't really he only adapts upon what he's already established.
I'm actually trying to find specifically what he said because I know it.
But
really
that being said,
wasn't
if we're
that
looking
long
for improvements, Chainsaw Man is definitely an improvement upon his previous works.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's right. We wanted to talk about Fire Punch, didn't we?
We can talk about Fire Punch. I don't think today's the day still, because I want to bring this back to Doron.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your friend though saying about Fujimoto?
Okay, he was saying how Fujimoto kind of operates in a way where it's like, I'm trying to find specifically what he freaking says, but it's like, damn, this guy is like social media, pops off with it. He's just every day. It's like, fuck.
He's in the zeitgeist. I mean, it's lightning in a bottle.
Oh, that's it. Okay, I've got exactly what it is. The difference between illustrators who make things extremely fucking pretty and like try to get everything down because that's what they're actually there for, versus Fujimoto who is trying to like move a story along and like fit as much in because like
he's a
crams
writer
that shit
first.
pretty tight in. He gets a lot of information there. Even in a chapter like the other week, which I was like thinking about the other day, I initially thought I didn't get that much from this chapter, but I learned a lot about Asa, like how her mom died, which we didn't actually see or anything. He actually does cram a lot of getting a character.
Again, I think Fujimoto is definitely a writer first before he's an artist.
And I thought about this as well with it's in the way that he's actually trying to like meet deadlines and everything, while an illustrator, for example, will say possibly take a really long time because they are like so just like into the details and everything. That's what he was describing specifically.
Yep, and it's to bring it back to Horikoshi. Horikoshi's definitely an illustrator.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at all those freaking Shigaraki shots right now.
Yeah, I think it's even better in stuff like.
How is he doing that on time? He took a lot of breaks beforehand. I have to wonder if he's like ahead.
Fujimoto though has a really incredible eye for, I feel, scale actually. like making the fights feel like really huge. Like the Stars and Stripes fight felt
Scale.
huge. Yeah, scale. Like this massive like scale. You know, like the planes flying everywhere. It's like you see her stand basically is like the entire fucking sky. It's like huge, and it felt so impressive at the time. I love that.
Yeah, so let's dial that right back to Doron Dororon.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, really good arc to start. Again, that first chapter is strong. I can see why he made such a strong case for himself.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when you were giving it a lot of shit right off the bat.
It gets rougher as it goes. He kind of starts getting... It's Doron, in its sense, it was always a jobber. It was a placeholder, it was a jobber. That's why everyone's like, how did this last so long? And it just effectively, like, nothing we saw here was exceptional. With Golem Hearts, we saw an exceptional premise, we saw some exceptional characterization. And with Doron Dororon, we have a strong pilot. Like I said, I always go back to that save the cat joke in Doron Dororon, where he saves a pregnant cat. So that's how you demonstrate your character. He's a little extra. Because he didn't just save a cat, he saved a whole litter of cats in one foul swoop. It's a very clever way of the save the cat trope. And so you know that Gensei is a clever writer, and you know he's got something going for him. And the little sword buddy he's got, it's a very cute design. Like, he is competent, but he wasn't being exceptional. And if you want to survive in Jump, man, you could be a jobber on Jump, but you won't stay a jobber on Jump. And it's a fine balance. It's a fine balance of being exceptional and like killing yourself over it and surviving. Like it's a confluence of things. It's a very complicated issue. And with Gensei, I think he chose to jobber and survive, and he got 36 chapters, and it sucks. I'm hoping he gets a third. I'm hoping that the next thing that Gensei gets, I hope it's the next big thing. I hope this is another Horikoshi story. That's why we keep bringing up Horikoshi, because Horikoshi was in this position too before My Hero Academia. He had 2 failed series, and a lot of people were writing on his fucking failure and saying, okay, this guy's washed up. They're not going to give him a third chance. And then a couple years down the road, boom, this little thing called My Hero Academia just shows up and just fucking takes everything by storm. And I shouldn't say he takes everything by storm. It was a forced phenomenon. It was like the corpo saw it and went, we're going to make this a thing. We're going to invest so much into this. And that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for Gensei is, at the very least, the next thing he gets, I hope the corpo see it and go, we're going to make that fucking work. Like, we see something here, and we're going to at least force it. If not that, he becomes the next JJK or Demon Slayer, where he doesn't even need the corpo backup, where he just strikes a chord with the audience and they lift him up. I'm wishing nothing but the best. I think he has it. I want to see him do something that isn't jobby. I want to see something wholly original. I want him to just blow our fucking minds. I feel like the capability is there. I don't know what he's going to do, but I feel the potential is there. And I'm praying for it, man. I'm praying for it. Because out of all these other guys who are sweeping into the magazine very quickly and coming in and out, I don't see anyone else who I would happily see return from. Besides whoever wrote Hunter's Guild, which was Yuki Kawaguchi.
You really love Hunter's Guild.
I really do. Again, that was another one where I saw a lot of promise in. I liked how meta he was until even his meta got meta. Like it went too far because it got rushed out the gate because he realized he was fucking failing and then he went out the door kicking and screaming, which I can't. I'd be a hypocrite to say I haven't done that before either. So I understand why he did it. He was getting canceled no matter what. So he's another one that Kawaguchi's another one that I'm hoping. Kawaguchi and Gensei, I'm hoping for the best. I hope they get another shot. I hope they get a shot at Jump Plus. I think that's the future. I think there's less pressure to be a jobber. There's less pressure to catch a wide net. Jump Plus is allowed to be very specific. I'm seeing some stuff on there that I would never read, and I don't care to read. But I look through the comments and I look through the discourse, and people are very passionate about them. Jump Plus is allowed to be very specific.
It's a lot of cult followings, you'd say then?
Yes, cult followings that they perform at a way that is allowed to get further produced.
I do find it crazy how much stuff is on Jump Plus that I'm simply not aware of.
like I said, I'm perusing, and there's still stuff there that surprises me. There's still stuff I'm finding later, like one of them was Takapi's Original Sin. That came out a while ago.
Oh, yeah,
I came across it, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, we've had this discussion before. Jump Plus is the future. I think quality is going to win in the end, and I think Chainsawman being a Jump Plus exclusive, having simultaneous international releases, is the future. Again, Chainsaw Man is allowed that budget because it's Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man's the only really true phenomenon on Jump Plus, and so Chainsaw Man is both. Could be like it's two ways you can go. Like either that's a harbinger for a better future, or it could be a harbinger of darker things to come. Because now Jump Plus is gonna want Chainsaw Man numbers. They're now if nothing performs like Chainsaw Man, they're not gonna produce it. That's what I'm afraid of. I hope they continue on the Takapi's Original Sin route, where they're giving a bunch of unlikely stars a chance. And we're seeing, even though these are still very short stories, they're very fulfillingly told. Like they're not rushed out the gate. They're complete stories. And there's stuff that's going much longer than Takapi is right now that you would never have heard of. That are very fun. And I'm wondering when one's gonna get an anime adaptation. There is Kaiju number 8. It's getting an anime. We knew this was inevitable. Spy X Family. That was a Jump Plus exclusive as well. It's currently in the middle of a great anime. So like the success is not a question. It's what is Jump Plus going to define as success going forward. I would prefer it not use Chainsaw Man as an example. I want what was this? Candy Flurry. There was a manga that failed on Jump magazine and is now getting a second chance on Jump Plus. I want to see more second chances. I want Hunter's Guild back on there. I mean, I don't want Gen to do Doron again, but if that's the only chance he has, then put Doron second chance on Jump Plus. Like, give him a chance to get some breathing room and improve upon it. Black Clover got that chance while still remaining on the magazine. Anything's possible, motherfucker. Anything is fucking possible if you give the fucker a chance to say, hey, fuck the wide net, fuck the widespread appeal. Make the best story, even if you gotta get specific. And that's what I'm hoping for. And I pray for that for anything that gets canceled on Jump or any magazine. I hope Jump Plus can just be like a retribution for everyone. If they don't have ideas for new series, which clearly they do have ideas for new series. Speaking of new series, I think that's one of the reasons why Doron is going is they've got 2 new series coming before the fall. We said that we probably wouldn't see any new series until November. They got 2 new guys coming out in September. Well, one of them was a one-shot that came out. Unfortunately, I don't have the information in front of me.
Okay, fair
so
enough.
I'm just talking on my ass. But I know it was based off of one-shot, and now it's being picked up to series. So that's usually a good sign. That's usually the normal turn of events. Is you make a one-shot.
Oh no, no,
successful, and then it gets picked up.
I have read Bakuman. I know the slice.
Right.
Yeah. Did you read Bakuman?
I did not.
I am surprised you've never read Bakuman.
Nope.
In fact, I actually own the entire collection of it. It was like the first manga that I got. It's good shit though. But yeah, no, I know that most comes from that stuff. Do you want to talk about My Hero Academia, by the way? Because I've been waiting to talk about that this entire time.
I know everyone's thinking about My Hero Academia, and that's fine. I just wanted a quick obituary for Doron Dororon, and because it's been our whipping boy. All right,
your whipping boy. I didn't.
I've been talking mad. If you're hanging out with me, Val, you're complicit.
I didn't. I tried to like defend it. I tried to give him some preps, and you were just relentless.
You did. You were doing your best. I was being very.
I wasn't really. I wasn't like regularly looking for it or anything. Hell, when you showed it me, I was like, "What am I actually looking at?" I'd forgotten because I'm not reading all that much manga lately, really, except like.
Well, for me, it's that triumvirate. It's My Hero, Chainsaw Man, One Piece.
Yeah,
like,
no, precisely.
I have no time. I have no time to read anything else. I was trying to sneak a few more chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen in, and I just don't have the time.
I smashed out maybe 6 chapters of Crows, which I've been putting off for ages. I really need to finish it. It's
Oh,
delinquent.
you know
manga.
what? I did sneak in some Vinland Saga.
Yeah. Oh man, what?
New season's coming out. January.
Yeah. I remember.
Very excited.
I mentioned
Marvel
to you.
Saga
I was like,
specifically.
I remember being like, oh, the third dub of Vinland Saga's coming out. Anyway.
The third dub.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
precisely.
god, I forgot about that. There's multiple dubs.
Yeah, I was talking to
Including us.
That's literally what I was alluding to. I was talking to
Find that on the
Freddie about it
Joyride
the other
channel.
day, and yeah, no, I remember mentioning it to you because I was surprised. I was like, oh, it finally got dubbed. And you said no. I think you said even. You're pretty sure there was another double. Well, someone.
Oh yeah, it's been dubbed. It's been dubbed by multiple studios because that's how crazy the rights are. For I don't understand. I mean, that's what happens when you're on Amazon. Because I'm pretty sure it started on Amazon, and that's what happens when you start on Amazon.
Yeah, you don't get
is
dubbed
they don't
for
give a
some
damn.
reason.
The rights get so freaking weird, and to the point where even we dubbed it just for fun, and we never got any backlash for it. Like no one ever contacted me and said, "Hey, take that down." We just did it. And it was just like, and it's like literally that's basically we're the YouTube dub for Vinland Saga. Absolutely fucked up. Absolutely fucked. We did that as an April Fool's joke, and it's officially the YouTube dub of Vinland Saga.
I'm so surprised that like Banana Fish hasn't got a dub as far as I'm aware, because I really like that. Did you watch
too
Banana
niche.
Fish?
I watched the pilot.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was very good, and then I watched Great Pretender and went, okay, this one's more my style.
Yeah, that's fair. I never watched Great Pretender.
You should watch Great Pretender. One of my highest recommendations. Just a fun weekly watch, man. And there's 2 seasons of it now, and they're incredible.
Great Pretender reminds. I mean, I know it came out first, but I just think Super Spies when I see like the style of it. I know it's like quite different, but Great Pretender's
I don't
Netflix,
know. I'm not.
right?
Yes, it's on Netflix. I'm not much of an art guy, like actual like art painting, visual illustrative art guy. But the backgrounds in that series are like it reminds me of an artist. I can't think of their name. It's just Great Pretender's like obviously the character modeling is very specific. It's a very specific director whose name's escaping me right now, and that's I think you're finding is very samey. But the backgrounds really popping Great Pretender, where it's just like it's definitely some fucking postmodern shit.
Did you ever watch Super Crooks?
I did not watch Super Crooks.
Oh, okay. Jason Momoa's in it. In fact,
Okay.
quite a few people. It was good though. It's actually an anime based on a Mark Miller comic.
Well, then now you're gonna lose me if it's Mark Miller. I don't like series that are adapted from independent comics.
Yeah.
Or not independent comics, just generally comics in general. That depends though as to how faithful are they. Like the less faithful they are, the better they are. Por ejemplo, The Boys.
I like The Boys, as you know. The Boys is absolutely
The
my
comic
style.
or the series?
I like the comic. I read the comic when I was younger.
Ah, the comic's garbage.
I like the comic. Fuck you.
Ew.
It's good.
But we're not here. This is the manga, and I know it's Ann Moore, but Ann Moore always becomes our like least viewed fucking episodes.
It's
So
the pulp, my friend, the pulp. But I think it's more toned down. It is absolutely more toned down. I think they changed a few things because I've never actually read Super Crooks. I just glanced over it one day when I saw it when it came out at like a comic book shop last year. But no, it was actually good. Toned down a lot more. In fact, a lot of Mark Miller's stuff is getting like adapted. But
it's Mark Miller
he's
specific.
doing loads
This
of
guy,
stuff lately. I think
he
did a bit
bugs
of-
me.
I think he did Castlevania maybe. Or that might have been someone else.
What, wrote Castlevania, the Netflix series?
Yeah.
No, that was not Mark Miller.
It
That
was a comic artist. Warren Ellis.
Yeah, it was
Warren
a
Ellis.
comic writer, but it wasn't Mark Miller.
Yeah, no, it was Warren Ellis. That's what
It was, I'm looking it up right now.
Warren Ellis. I've just said it 3 times.
Did you?
Yes.
I missed him. My bad. I'm just ignoring you. No, okay. Castlevania, the TV series, that's fucking, I don't care what people say, that's anime, and that's fucking good.
I feel like the 4th season's quite bad.
I think it was a rushed,
I know
it was a
you
rushed
probably
COVID
like
production.
it because it's fucking
I
chock
loved it.
full of monologuing, but it's bad monologuing. I actually hate the monologuing in Castlevania season 4. I know they already did it in 1, 2, and 3, but they just went off.
I don't know. So I don't even like the
that
video
much.
games. I know nothing about them, but that series I just fucking love. I think it's best. But I do agree that 4 is the weakest season. But 4 also gives me one of the greatest fucking moments where they fucking I think they resurrect Satan and he's like, I was born to feast on you fuckers. I just like that fucking dialogue. It's so stupid, it's funny.
No, yeah, that was pretty.
It was either death or Satan. He's like, I was born to feast on you fuckers.
No, it was
I was like, who gets away with that shit?
death.
Only Warren Ellis.
Yeah, it was death. It was death. I'm not like the biggest Castlevania fan, but I played a few games. I beat the first game using save scumming. I did like quick saves, but I did it on the very final boss of Dracula at the very like start of the fight. I save scummed it. I had 1 HP, and I had to do the entire fight, like bit by bit, going through and like guessing what you do next. It was fucking intense. But I do like Castlevania. That's the only one that I've beaten.
I'm going to the Wikipedia page of Castlevania production, and I guess there's a lot of fucking sexual misconduct allegations against Warren Ellis.
Oh
so
yeah, recently? Yes.
I retract my statements. Fuck this guy.
No, I mean, it's still like good stuff. If you like it, you like it.
I think the show's entertaining.
Yeah.
Now how's it gonna be without him? Who the fuck knows, right?
Like Kevin Spacey is a piece of shit, but he was good in fucking, what was it? I can't even fucking think of a Kevin Spacey movie right now. Ignore
Adi
me.
Shankar's still working on it, so that should be good.
Yeah. Can we talk about My Hero Academia, for the love of God?
Yeah, we can. I want to do something a little bit different. We've been doing our triumvirate for so long. I thought it was interesting to bring up a little bit of Netflix there.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, it's good. I mean, that's why we're here. Really, we're just here to
Had
talk
that
about
first half hour, but yeah, no, it's definitely time to talk about My Hero.
It
There's a lot.
fucking is.
There's a lot to unpack about this chapter.
Let's just fucking say it. Don't you dare be like, spoilers, Vat. I know you don't even really care, but he's fucking back. We're back. A dinosaur. Is that a dinosaur story or something like that?
We're back at Dinosaur. Hell it
Yeah.
is.
With what is it?
Roll back clock.
Yeah.
Go back time and sing this song with me.
But he's fucking back in a way that I never fucking expected. I couldn't have even guessed this shit.
We got pretty close, but speaking of turning back the clock, let's start, because that's the end of the chapter. Let's go
Yeah.
turn back the clock with All for One Prime, who, now this is an interesting little twist. I like this part. I think this is stupid. I'll get to the stupid part.
Go.
But the part that I thought was pretty interesting, where he's like, I'm literally going to disappear into nothing. So they explain they took the quirk erasing bullet and they reworked it so that it focused more on Ares' original quirk, in that it doesn't remove the quirk, it reverts the person. So All for One is going back to his prime. However, after a amount of time, he's going to continue to revert until he is nothing.
I'm actually really looking forward to that.
He's getting rewound. He's on a timer now, and I got to admire the conviction.
You've got to admire that. I was almost there and said that I said Shigaraki. I didn't think it was gonna be All for One.
So they're reverted. Well, Eri can still do that to Shigaraki. Remember that.
True.
Eri can do that.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the bullet right
Which
now.
I'm surprised he hasn't
uncontrolled-
mentioned.
So this is Ares' uncontrolled quirk. They mentioned this. Overhaul mentioned this, where he says that she rewound her parents to dust. And so this is what's going to happen to All for One. Where he's gonna, maybe he'll become a baby, and that'll be fucking hilarious.
That's exactly what, dude. He's gonna turn into a fucking like Full Metal Alchemist fetus.
Like
and
Boss Baby.
And Midoriya's gonna fight Shigaraki and put him in his hood. I'm his mother now, All Might. I won't let you kill him.
A kid fight. We'll get young All for One versus Midoriya. I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, but no.
Oh,
I
no, what
like
if he
that. I
saves
like
All
the
for
I
One?
like the conviction. I like the timer. I like the fact that he confirmed he has a small dick.
Dude, what if he saves All for One and All for One's like, kill Shigaraki. Do it.
But yeah, but what I don't like, again, like these villains, especially All for One, they get it right on like the edge of a really good idea, where he talks about what defines a villain in society.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, I just want to be a dick. I'm
I was
like,
about-
fuck you!
I know.
You're so close!
It fucking kind of pissed me off. I was just like, wait, he just said nothing there. What the fuck?
He literally said nothing. He literally had this monologue just to make a moot point.
Mm-hmm.
We know you're a stupid piece of shit. We know you're influenced by comics, but you're like, in a world full of countless cultures and values, isn't it interesting that we all universally frown upon villains? And it's like, what are you gonna say about that, All for One? And he goes, I just want to stop progress. What the fuck are you talking about? Why bring up the rest? You were on the cusp of being interesting, and then you're like, Like, here's how I would rewrite that. This isn't My Hero Academia bridge. This is me taking the pencil away from Horikoshi for just a brief page. All for One is such a narcissistic piece of shit, because it's clearly what he is at this point. So if we're gonna stay true to this characterization now, this post-Kamino accident, All for One, he's so narcissistic that All for One aspires to be the universally cultural ideal of villainy. He wants to be the most culturally recognizable thing. The fact that in a world full of countless cultures and values, everyone understands who I am. That's what this should be about.
Midoriya, I'm going to steal the moon. He's fucking rude.
And he gets so close to... He's definitely, to that point, he's very close. And so, and again, we're looking at scans, so maybe the official translation will be better.
Oh, very good call, actually. Yeah, good point. Very good point.
Yes, maybe
we have had
maybe
other times.
maybe the way that I just worded it, maybe that's what the fucking official English translation will be.
I know how passionate you are. I know it was hard for you to pull back and say, wait, this might all be bullshit.
Yeah, I caught myself too. Basically, as I said, I went, you know what? This ain't official yet, but maybe we're just waiting for the official translation to figure that out. And hopefully at bare minimum, that's still kind of a point, but it's better than what we're getting right now, where he did like a backflip for no reason.
That's a great way to put it.
He did a backflip and said, "How'd you like my somersault?" What? Huh?
Okay, I want to know, what is the stupid bit?
Well, that was the first. That was the first really stupid thing.
No, that was the first. Oh, by the way, actually, one detail I love the fact that he's like used his immense power to rip everyone's fucking clothes or capes off and drape them over his naked body.
Yes, I thought that was, I said small cock confirmed, where he just rushes through people, super speed, took people's capes.
Fuck, I didn't fucking catch
And he just
that.
took someone's cork too, it seems.
He looks like Fire Punch as well. He literally looks like Fire Punch.
He kind of does.
Absolute, no, 100%. He's even got like the one side. If Fire Punch was actually fucking capable of happiness when he's on fire.
Right. Otherwise, another interesting thing, this very accurate panel of what the United States looks like right now.
Oh, what?
The very first, the panel says, the United States of America, Washington, D.C. This is literally what America looks like right now, even with the sign that says, "We love all for one."
Oh, God.
Just looks like a fucking wasteland. There's a hobo. I think there's a guy laying on the ground. There's some trash. There's a taxi that's just been imploded.
Okay, it might be me. It looks more like some guys like pointing a gun down at him, actually. But it's
yeah,
like so
you know what?
Fucking Polly.
Probably some hero with a gun. But actually very accurate. The fact that the United States president's like, we don't see a feasible way to beat this guy, so we're in a race now with the rest of the world to curry favor with Shigaraki. Which I'm like, how do people still take Shigaraki seriously, besides the fact that he's strong?
How do you feel about the president being, like, dark, like, you know, shadowy figure?
Because they're not going to show his face. This isn't Death Note, where they're just going to show Trump. They're not going to do it. They've always been very shadowy with the president. This isn't the first time we've seen the president.
Yeah, it's probably Horikoshi. Yeah, I'm getting that right. Horikoshi just not wanting to, like...
Doesn't want to fucking timestamp himself, is what he doesn't want.
You know what? That's a good point.
It is like, general U.S. president, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. This is a Japanese story.
It's a U.S. president.
All Might holds up all the American values? Nah, he's Japanese, born and raised.
But he just loves America, like Horikoshi does.
I very much like the bit with the chain of generations.
Yes, I like that, because he's explaining his themes right now. He's explaining why the fuck that's about to happen, what we're about to discuss, why that would happen. Because the villains mock the heroes and say, why are you putting kids through all this shit? Which the heroes are now going, fuck, you're right. We gotta make the sacrifices. And that explains the whole bit with Bakugo. I like Akbar, or what's his name? Akbar.
Yeah.
They keep changing his name because
Star
Wars gets pissed.
Maybe. I think it was always Akbar, I believe.
I thought it was Akbar for some reason, but Akbar, I think, makes more sense.
He absolutely sticks out, though, as being just overtly a Star Wars character.
A lot of them do. A lot of them do, actually, Val. If you really look back on this series.
I love the sweet little way that Stars and Stripes holds out her hand like a real lady to, like, take All Mights or something, and, like, the imagery and everything. And it kind of like, I think denotes, even though it's not real, it's a metaphor, obviously, it's not real, but it's like telling of like the character and her feelings of All Might. I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah, it's like I said, this little relay, but now who is she reaching out to? And I feel like, and they show Ed Shot next.
Yes, yeah.
Which is like, who's next to take the sacrifice is Ed Shot. And here's the thing about Ed Shot. This is the thing that's really causing like absolute mayhem in the discourse right now.
Why is it Ed Shot, right?
Why is it Ed Shot? Besides the fact that he has the power set to do it. So here's why it has to be Ed Shot. Narratively, it does not make sense. But why must someone sacrifice themselves? Because if Bakugo's not gonna die, but you present a death, you've got to trade a death for a death. That has to happen, and so I respect this. My theory was that Genis was just gonna stitch his heart back together, and then the nitrogen was gonna take hold, and I feel like the nitrogen is still going to happen. I think the audience, the readers really got a nice catch on that. As stupid as that initial theory was, now with all these other factors in play, now it makes more sense, and I would like to see it happen. But this extra step with Ed Shot, it's very extra. The fact that he's going to form the heart using the thread from Genis, because someone does have to sacrifice themselves, or Bakugo's not going to die. Makes perfect sense. It has to happen. I still think that's ballsy. It's not as ballsy as killing Bakugo, but there's still some balls in play. But the fact that it's Ed Shot, when do we see Ed Shot? The Kamino accident?
I believe we see him at the very beginning, actually. Somewhere.
No, we do not. That's
no.
It's Kamui Woods.
Wood, yeah.
That's Kamui Woods. We see him prominently in the Kamino accident. I think he does some shit in the first war, but not much. We don't really have an emotional attachment to Ed Shot. I'm sorry. He gets some appearances in Vigilantes, but never more so than anyone else.
I didn't even know what his face looked like till now.
No,
I'm
because
sure
you don't
it's
see
been
his
shown
face.
in like
He's been masked this entire time. This is the first time we're seeing his face.
I was about to call an SBS for some reason, but I'm sure that's somewhere in like, I don't know, the character pages where they show people in their casual clothes.
Maybe they'd have, but we get one brief panel of Genis and Ed Shot and UA as students, and then that's it. And it's like that's the true problem, is the fact I like his speech, but it's just the fact that like narratively he was not prominent enough. This is the price that Horikoshi pays for rushing.
But it's also
we could have had more build up. We could have used this arc to get more attached to Ed Shot. There was room for him.
Funny that I've made I'm about to make another comparison, sorry, to Fujimoto's work, where it's like obviously someone becoming someone's heart to let them carry on living.
Oh, like Pochita, you're right.
I'm not saying anything about that, just like an observation.
Oh, okay, it's just a remark.
All for One absolutely looks like Fire Punch, and this is very Pochita to Denji.
Man, fucking this every 2-week break for Chainsawman's really getting you hard, huh, Val? You just gotta fucking make everything related to Chainsawman.
No.
You're toxic.
Yeah.
You're asking where Denji is in this chapter. He's not in here, Val. Relax.
I was quite sad. I assume like this.
It's
like,
Ed Shot's turn for attention, but he's got a cool speech. And I think he's definitely spitting in the face of the villains of the fact that why aren't the adults making the sacrifices, and Ed Shot's making that sacrifice. That's baller. It's just narratively, we're not that attached to Ed Shot. I'm sure Ed Shot is someone's favorite character, but from a general perspective, we're not attached to Ed Shot. And so this doesn't have the weight that it should have. Like, imagine if let's rewrite My Hero Academia from the beginning, and let's combine Best Genis with Ed Shot. What if Genis made this sacrifice? Wouldn't that hurt more?
It would hurt more only because I like Genis and he's what's on his belt?
He's
BJ,
more,
his BJ belt.
blowjob.
Genis' BJ belt.
But he's had more time for development. He has more of a relationship with Bakugo.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah,
he taught Bakugo. They work together a lot off screen, but they've had moments on screen together, more so than him and Ed Shot have. Whereas here, they make one panel to make a very like facsimile of a relationship with Genis. They definitely show up together a lot in Vigilantes.
They do.
They definitely collaborate a lot, but we never see them really interact, like have a friendship. So there's not as much weight as there should be here.
Maybe I don't feel like, but I know he was helpful. Like, I'm not like taking away his contribution to the attack.
It's a sacrifice. No, that's the thing. That sacrifice is important. He's spitting in the face of the villains and going, I will make that sacrifice. And so what I think he's doing here, so I'm looking at this page, the very last, I'll become his heart. Because a lot of people are like, well, how the fuck does he make his heart? He's just shaping himself in the heart. No, he's literally turning himself into muscle fiber, is what he's doing. He's turning himself into fiber, and Genist is going to thread that fiber. Oh, it's a collaboration here. It's pretty fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what I mean. It's insane, and I never expected it, so it almost makes me happy, but I'm simply kind of like...
Dumb Horikoshi logic too, which
I don't understand the tactical advantage that this will bring them. Does Edgeshot no longer feel as though he can contribute to this mission?
Right? Again, here's how I would fix this scene. Here's how I would fix this scene, Val.
Okay, go. Yeah,
so,
go on.
Go back to the war, the first war, when all the heroes are quitting. Imagine if Edgeshot, that's it, one thing. What if Edgeshot had quit? Initially. What if he had quit? And then for this final war act, he came back. And this is what he does. The fact that he no longer feels, the fact that he felt like it was hopeless, that there was nothing else he could do, and in this moment he goes, there is something I can do. Suddenly Edgeshot, that moment has more weight. Suddenly it's an even grander sacrifice. The fact, if you just give a character just a little bit more, it can make a big impact later. And here, Edgeshot's just always been kind of like, he's just been there. He doesn't have much of a personality. He just needed something to deliberate. This is supposed to be a deliberation point, but there was no setup to deliberate upon. And that's the problem. That's the problem here. When you make these sacrifices, we feel the impact of Bakugo's death there because he's been on screen forever. We've gotten to know him. You gotta, Edgeshot, it's just that we barely know him at all. We just needed just a little bit more. We needed to do something with him before this point to get that relationship. So even if he doesn't truly have a relationship with Bakugo or Genist, if that's complete bullshit, at least he could have had a relationship with Hero Society, with the audience. If he, at that moment where Ochako saw that one hero say, I think I'm gonna consider a new job. Even if Edgeshot hadn't quit, but it just said that line, I think I should try to get a new job. The fact that he would have a doubt in his heart, and here we see him take a stand after a temptation, it would have mattered. That would have given this so much weight for a character that's barely been around. It would have worked. It would have worked like that.
I agree it would have given him more weight, but that's what I mean. It needs that weight to like make sense that he would do this because everyone is in such a dire situation and clearly has a place on the team.
But I get, like, because you're asking the point. I get that. I've said that before. The point is the villains say you're making kids making sacrifices, and he's saying, yeah, this kid can't die. One of us has to go. And Edgeshot is making a very quick-witted going. Okay, it's me. I'm going. Adios. I'm battered. I'm bloody. There's nothing else I can contribute to this fight. I'm going.
Yeah, maybe that would like.
That's the point. That is the point. That is the point. But there's no weight. There's no emotional weight to that point. What is the emotional weight? That's the solution I offered. Is the fact that what if we saw doubts in his heart, even when he did have something to contribute, when he was still fresh off that war fight, when he's like, oh man, I'm so upset that we lost. I'm gonna quit. Where it's like, no, motherfucker, you got something else you can do. That's the kind of weight we needed from Ed. That's the kind of story. That's the kind of arc that Edgeshot needed and just did not get. Anyone could have done Edgeshot's job. It was the fact that he had the very specific power set at that moment. Which that's why I mentioned Genist. I'm like, what if Genist's power and Edge was combined? What if Genist was Edgeshot and he was the one making the sacrifice? It would matter more because Genist has put so much of his teachings into Bakugo that emotionally wouldn't make sense. That would have a feel because it's like, here's the last thing I've given you so much. Here's one more thing I can give you. Because he's Bakugo's All Might, even though Bakugo's more of an All Might fan. Because Bakugo kind of just fell into Genist's camp. Because he was such an asshole during the sports festival arc, and Genist was the only one who was willing to give him a shot. And so imagine in that moment where Bakugo's dead, and the villains are talking about, oh wow, you made a kid make a sacrifice? And the adults are like, we're very upset, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna do it. What if Genist was the guy to say, I would give this kid another chance?
I thought you were about to slip into a French accent then for some reason.
Who knows? I'm always on the cusp
I
of it.
would give this kid a chance.
I will give this kid that chance. Genius is Cajun now. But yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about this chapter? A lot happened. We knew this was coming. I am good with the technicality of how this is going on. I get that. Sacrifice for sacrifice, the power set, this makes sense. It's just emotionally, I feel nothing for this sacrifice.
I'm good with All for One personally, and like his whole
I'm good with him.
here.
I'm good with him. I'm good with him.
Yeah, but like that's like the most interesting thing that happened to me. I still think like it's surprising the way that Edgeshot is like swooped in to save Baku, and that's why I'm not necessarily angry. I'm annoyed Bakugo's coming back, but I'm still like, wow, he did this in a way that I couldn't have possibly predicted.
We got
Maybe
close
because
because it was so extra.
I mean, I don't even think I've ever really understood Edgeshot's power system.
Well, he
Like,
threads.
you told me that
He gets flat as paper.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You said he gets flat as paper, so when this
And he basically he gets flat, he
around-
shrinks, he can like twist himself into thread. And so here he's like, I'm literally gonna turn myself into thread. I'm literally gonna tear my body apart into thread.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like kind of confused and like, obviously, what the fuck? I did not see this coming like in any way.
Yeah, it's insanity. Yeah, it's that stupid Horikoshi logic that I love. I just wish it had some emotional resonance.
Maybe Midoriya could have came back. I don't know. I'd have more emotional resonance, maybe.
Oh, it's just the fake
seeing
out of
Bakugo
Midoriya
dead or
reacting to
something,
Bakugo's
but
death.
I know you wouldn't care about that.
We've done it before. Again, that would have just been a repeat. Remember the first?
Oh yeah, that's
arc?
right. Yeah. Because
we had
thought
that before.
Yeah,
so fuck
we did.
that. I
You're
prefer
absolutely
Manama.
right.
I prefer Manama and Aizawa's reaction.
Yeah.
I think Manama, because remember Manama has a little bit of a beef with Bakugo since the Sports Festival. And there Manama's like, you son of a bitch. You said you would do a perfect victory. This does not look perfect at all. Fuck you. Get the fuck up. It's always good to watch a hater turn around. Okay?
Yeah.
I think that's way better than Midoriya's. Midoriya's just like, yo, you just fucking killed my boyfriend. I'm going into fucking sicko mode. We've seen this before. It's Super Saiyan. Shout out to Totally Not Mark. He just currently did a review of the Wano arc. He did the completion, where he had the same feelings I did about Luffy's transformation into 5th gear. How, unlike any transformation, it sparked, where every adaptive transformation since Super Saiyan in other series, it's always a breaking point. It's always sparked by anger and desperation, where Luffy's transformation is sparked by joy and the thrill of battle. That's so much better. And here we see it. And we see it in My Hero Academia, where Midoriya's is triggered by desperation and anger, and it's just like more of the same, not as interesting. Whereas 5th gear in One Piece is fucking awesome because it's sparked by joy, and I love that. Where it's like I get stronger because I love what I do. Like that's so fucking cool. And I think is that the proper segue to One Piece?
I would say so. I just want to say that I've always loved the fact that the gears actually serve different purposes. As
I've done rewatches, I have softened my stance on the. I had talked previously on this podcast that I wasn't a big fan of Gear 4.
Of the other ones, yeah.
Specifically Gear 4. I like Gear 3.
Oh, no. You specifically you said that you weren't a fan of a lot of Luffy's transformations. Not that you hated them,
Gear
because
4
they didn't
until
suit
5.
him.
Yeah, because narratively it didn't suit him, and Gear 5 is the first one that really narratively suits him. Though Gear 2 or 3, whichever the one where he starts smoking and he uses his rubber to pump his heart, that's my favorite. Because that's Luffy being clever. And I don't think it's actually a transformation. I don't consider that a transformation. I consider Gear 4, Kong and Snake Man, those are the ones that I don't like. Because just from a design standpoint, because they feel like it's Oda chasing Super Saiyan 3 at the time. And we've had this discussion before. Go back a couple episodes. We've talked about this before.
I don't feel that way because I don't know, they at least
but my
radically
stance has
changed
softened.
Luffy's
My
design.
stance has softened on it, especially on Kong, the big round one. My stance has changed because especially in the animation, it's very goofy. It's like a bouncy ball. And there I'm like, all right, I can stand for that one. But I don't like Snake Man. I don't like that. Just Super Saiyan 3.
Okay, here's why I like Gear 4. I like it because Luffy is like, when he got it, finally kind of matching up to how tall people are. And it's always cool seeing Luffy like, the little guy take out these like huge guys who just seem to get huger and huger. I enjoyed the change in like, the radical change in shape, whereas Super Saiyan, obviously different colors. I like seeing Luffy's like evolution and being like, this power is specifically for this thing, which is why he changes it up. He's not always like It's not like Dragon Ball Z where Goku will go like to Super Saiyan 3, because that's what he's got to do, and you just wonder, why isn't he going to Super Saiyan 3? Well, in One Piece, I think Oda's always been good with fights and like making it.
They feel that's another great thing about his transformations. They do feel like natural evolutions.
Yeah, and it's like it's
every transformation is a remix on something he's built before. So again, I said, even though I told you that I'm not a fan, but whenever I say I don't like something in One Piece, I'm being relative to One Piece. I'm not saying I don't like Luffy's transformation in comparison to something else. I'm just saying One Piece can always do so much better within itself.
No, absolutely.
And that's why I just think 5 is so great.
I think it's cool because like it's literally in the name where it's like, you switch to different gears when you're driving because you've got a different kind of road.
Oh yeah, I like those
in
names
front of
too.
you.
Yeah, it's not the semantics I have an issue with. It's just the design. It's all I'm talking about. It's just the design. But I've softened my stance on them though.
Oh no, I know you did. I know. I just like it because no one gear is like immediately like a power up for Luffy. It's always been like, well, this is now better when I'm in this sort of situation.
Yeah, very situational.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's actually
situational. I'd say within the gears, I'd say. Because if you go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, there's definitely a power scaling to it.
Yeah, 5 is.
But within them, like that's what you like about Gear 4, and I also agree. I like the adaptivity of Gear 4, the fact that he has modes. Yes, I like that.
Yeah, it's like when he whipped out Tank Man, which he's only done once, but Tank Man was fucking funny.
That's the best part about that transformation. But yeah, let's get current right now with One Piece.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chapter 1058. Where we get the bounties. Oh my gosh, the discourse on this was when the
I
leaks
knew
were
there
out.
would be. I absolutely knew there would be. The
Why?
fact that there
so
wasn't
here's
like
my
big pages.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Val. I don't want to talk about bounties because they're
No,
just
I
power
agree.
levels. It's so fucking boring.
I know, and I'm glad.
This is the one thing I want. This is my one stance. The one thing I want to discuss about the discourse on bounties.
Yeah, I literally talked about this ages ago. Remember when we were talking about...
Yeah, kids on Twitter. You know those bounties are dispersed by the government, right? You know the government decides the bounties. Since when in One Piece are we supposed to be trusting the government? I just blew a bunch of Sanji fans' minds. Like a bunch of Sanji fans just ran to Twitter immediately after hearing that. Don't trust the world government. Why the fuck does it matter whose bounty is what size? It's decided by the world government, who through this entire story is not to be fucking trusted. So why are we arguing on Twitter about whose bounty? Because we treat them like power levels? Even when I've discussed this on the podcast, the fact that anytime that bounties are discussed amongst the Straw Hats, it's always as a joke.
It's always a joke, yeah.
It's always a fucking joke. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's a fun marker of progress. To see it grow is important, but the specific numbers, to compare them among people, it's clearly not to be trusted. And especially when we get to the Cross Guild, where not only do they get the bounties wrong, but they get who's in charge wrong with Buggy, when it's actually Croc who's in charge. It's revealed in this chapter that Croc's in charge, but the marketing made the world government believe it was Buggy. And now Buggy's fucking crying. And he's like, I'll fucking suck your dick, man. Don't fucking kill me.
Just be like, let me suck your toes.
I will fucking suck your dick, your toes, your ears, anything, man. And Croc's like, ew, dude, do not make me wet. That affects my power set. Whereas Hawk's like, that's a lot of talking, not enough sucking. By the way, Marine Hunter
was legitimately at his most pathetic in this ever.
Okay, so you know the details of One Piece better than me. Is this the first time we've heard the term Marine Hunter Mihawk?
I think so.
Hilarious. We have Pirate Hunter Zoro, and Mihawk's just up to... They made Mihawk a warlord because they got tired of him killing their own guys.
Right.
That's fucking hilarious. And they decided, okay, let's make him an enemy again? What the fuck?
How do you feel about the return of the Revolutionary Army?
When did they ever arrive, Val? When have they ever been a point of this story?
Fucking Reverie.
the setup to this. The setup to
the
this.
Reverie. I know, but there was still a lot. We like met loads of people.
Hey, I
And, like,
wrote a
we
One
finally
Piece
get,
review that's probably never coming out, but at the time it was when I had read Reverie, and I'm like, what the fuck is the point of Reverie? Reverie's all payoff with, sorry, not payoff. It's all setup, and I don't know where the payoff is. And now we're just basically right now we're just starting to see things pay off from Reverie.
I found the payoff for Reverie was in like seeing the people that Luffy has met along the way, like some of like the key figures
that
come
like,
together
it's a Christmas special.
and suck his fucking dick. They're like, Luffy's so fucking sick.
It's a Christmas special.
This fucking big.
But all I see from Reverie is the fucking the giant frozen straw hat, the throne of thrones, the throne with the swords throne, and fucking Sabo's brother sitting on the throne like a dipshit. And
Stelly, you motherfucker.
And people discussing disbanding the warlords, all set up. We're now seeing what happens when the warlords get disbanded. What do? They form their own fucking cross guild. Except for, is Gecko dead? What happened to Gecko?
Gecko is dead. Yes, Blackbeard killed him and Absalom, who some people would argue.
Now, is he really dead? Is he dead in the One Piece sense, or is he like? Do we have a tombstone?
It cut away.
He's dead in the One Piece sense. He's not dead. Motherfucker's not dead.
They wanted his devil fruit, so I think he's dead.
Okay,
Absalom
okay.
So
if we see his devil fruit in action, then he'll be confirmed dead.
Yeah,
okay.
Unless they found a new way to fucking keep people alive, because Absalom is pretty much confirmed dead, because the former Impel Down guard captain on Blackbeard's crew has his devil fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened last time.
Makes sense. Okay. So Absalom was the invisibility guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay,
the piece of shit invisibility guy that like straight up tried to R-word an army.
Exactly. That's why I said fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, the revolutionary army is finally relevant now. Monkey D. Dragon.
As you know, I've been super excited for this.
Monkey D. Dragon is finally relevant. This is the most Monkey D. Dragon has talked since like
Monkey D. Dragon is fucking pissed.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's mad at Sabo for killing Cobra.
I bet Cobra's like some kind of he's a rat. He's a fucking informant for.
Well, we'll
learn. Double agent.
We'll learn. I don't think Cobra's actually dead, but we'll see.
I know I'm asking for a lot. I want him to be dead. I want the conflict of Luffy being pissed off at Sabo, and Sabo no longer having these allies is like more interesting.
I agree. I want what you want, Val. I want conflict with the Revolutionary Army.
I want conflict with Sabo. I want Sabo to like be fucking.
I want there to be three. I want there to be pirates, the army, and the government. I want the most complex fucking stakes at the end here, and Oda's capable of it.
How do you feel? Okay, so it's like, how do you feel if Sabo is the terrorist? Like, he's the one that's gone too far, and now no one fucking wants anything to do with it.
Again, I have no emotional attachment to Sabo. I still feel like the Straw Hats are the terrorists, but if we need a bad guy terrorist, and it's Sabo, I mean, go for it. I mean, it's definitely hard. It's heartbreaking for Luffy. My attachment to Sabo is however Luffy reacts to Sabo.
Well, you see, Sabo's always been like the most into this. It seems. I know he's always like quite like, I don't know, cool.
I feel like he's a retcon for Ace. I feel like if we're getting the conflict that you and I want, I feel like this is what Oda wanted for Ace, but he couldn't do it. He's like,
no, I can't
do this for Ace. Ace is too cool to be in conflict with Luffy. So
no,
we're gonna make another brother for Luffy to get in a fight with.
Sabo is gonna be like, in my opinion, the opposite Doflamingo, where he just wants to absolutely like burn down everything with the nobles, because Sabo is related to like
really
lower level nobles. He absolutely loathes nobles. Like, he hated his mom and dad. He hates Stelly.
Yeah.
And like, and he wants to watch that shit burn. But it's
yeah,
like,
my only
he's
issue
gonna be the
is
guy
that
takes it too far and involves
I've never sensed that intensity out of him yet. So are we getting that now? Seems kind of late, considering...
We could. That's what I'd like. I don't want Cobra to be alive. I want Vivi to fucking curse Sabo's name.
Yes, I agree. I want Vivi. I want Vivi
kill
back.
Him, Luffy.
We discussed this before. I want Vivi back on the street. She's MIA right now. She's on the run. I hope they pick her ass up and she's on the Straw Hat crew. She deserves it.
It would feel...
My
it would
heart
honestly
would
feel
be
repetitive. it would feel so repetitive, I know, but I wouldn't mind if Vivi did come back in some, like, way. I fucking love Vivi.
Alabasta 2? What if they just went back? What if they just did the Alabasta arc again? Like word for word? They just picked up Vivi and they just did it again, and we just went with it.
Well, here's the thing. We know how fucking, like, Vivi is super nice and kind and everything, but she goes on fucking vendetta when she wants you dead.
Yeah, that's why she's cool. That's why she's fucking cool. She's got a switch.
Yeah, she really does. Like, when the guy with the hair, I can't remember
And
his
not
name
just
right
when she
now.
wants you
And
dead, I mean,
Robin
like,
killed
her conviction
killed
and
him.
determination as well. Like, when Vivi wants to turn on the jets, she turns on the fucking jets. And that's what I like about her. That's why she
abuses
deserves
Luffy in the desert.
That's why she
Luffy
deserves to
fought
be on the
back.
Straw Hats, because she fits that so well.
Yeah, plus
She could be the new monster trio. Fuck Jinbei. Jinbei this week said trio's full. The ship's full and the trio's full. I love Jinbei just being a gatekeeper to everything. It's my favorite meme.
Bringing it back to Yamato, though, me and my friend were actually talking about this the other day, and we had an interesting conversation where it's not only that Yamato... We've talked about the fact that Yamato wouldn't actually serve a purpose on the ship. Because, like, there's not really a point in her being...
You and I have discussed this. We don't know what purpose she would serve on the ship. Whereas Vivi, I've discussed, would be the diplomat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Yes,
she's got the pass.
Yes, absolutely. But then with Yamato again, it's also like... It's not that Yamato's a bad character, but as you and I have talked about this, I feel like that anime did a lot of the heavy lifting for Yamato.
I agree.
In making them a lot more likable, to be honest. And other than Yamato's, like, you know, hey, I'm
he's
Odin.
very one-track mind. I want to be like Odin. Another of my favorite memes, where someone's like, Yamato after 2 days. Fuck.
Yeah.
After exploring all of Wano. Fuck. But again, my point still stands. Someone has to pilot Pluton, and that's who it's gonna be.
Maybe, but it's also like my friend said specifically, like, it would be... Oh, no, not my friend. I read this somewhere. It would be better for Yamato as a character if Luffy was like, oh, I don't want Odin on my crew. I want Yamato. Odin's already had his adventure. You need to start having Yamato's adventure or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I like that
just,
too.
like, cut out the Odin part of it when they leave Wano. Because it's like, oh, Yamato, you're gonna see so much fucking more. And it's like, the Odin story is fucking amazing, but you gotta start making your own. You only had that, and you only wanted that because it was the only thing you had as a point of reference.
And maybe that's what happened. And maybe, like, after we see them again, maybe Yamato comes to that distinction, that conclusion. After exploring Wano, go, okay, yeah, you know what? Odin has adventure. It's time for Yamato's adventure. But yeah, I do agree that's what Luffy should have done.
Yeah, that would be cool, because otherwise Yamato literally would have nothing going on the ship, to be honest.
I agree. I don't think he has a fucking skill set that's unique.
And yeah, no, exactly. And all they would serve is that they have baths with the guys and Sanji gets nosebleeds. That's all it would be, I guarantee.
I mean, it'd be another one.
So I'm actually glad that I'm more glad now. Because I knew it wasn't going to happen. You know,
it would just cause more discourse, more discourse that no one wants to fucking have anymore.
Probably. Whatever. But, I really want Cobra to be fucking dead.
That's all I want, dude,
that is the biggest thing in this.
The reason why I'm most excited for this arc, Val, is that this is the first time I am starting an arc week to week. Or every 2 weeks because we're on break.
Fuck. That's fucking crazy.
I started One Piece while they were just starting Wano.
Damn, that's
we're in the middle. They were in the middle of Wano when I started.
I could have swore you started like last year.
I started 3 years ago. I did the opening. I did the Blue Saga, the East Blue Saga.
East Blue. Yeah.
And then I dropped it because that's so slow. Because it is. It's slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some classic moments. You go,
and
yeah,
then
this is great.
I introduced you to One Piece.
But then you gave me One Piece a couple years later, and then I went through that, and then about a year ago I did One Piece, and that's how I got caught up.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how that journey went. But this is the first
One
time where I am
really
up to date
saves.
weekly with the manga going into a new arc. This is so exciting. I can't wait.
I'm glad, man. I'm really glad. Also, Kuma's back, which I'm actually really happy for.
Is
him.
he really
thank
back?
Fuck. No, I'm pretty sure he is like forever going to be like a machine, and that's probably another thing that's gotten on Dragon's fat tits. He's just fucking like, this is actually an awful fucking day. One of my best friends is a fucking machine.
But yeah,
He's pissed.
it is interesting that we do have a Kuma that does respond to the good guys, because I feel like we still got some mysteries about like why he let the Straw Hats live in Sabaudi.
Absolutely, but
he's got some explaining to do still.
I kind of don't want to know that though.
I don't think we need to know.
No.
It's more
really
than
don't
enough
think
that
so.
he believed in them and said, you know what, these guys can make a difference, but they gotta get stronger. I think that's the explanation I came up in my head, and I'm content with it.
Right? It's just fine. It's been 10 years on. Like, why did he decide to like send them off? Like, because he had like the darkest, like epithet or background. The Tyrant Kuma. He had one of the most cruel histories apparently as a pirate, according to the world government.
Yeah, and we ever really
And that's
see
why
that.
he's a warlord. So it's like weird that obviously he's like actually like this good guy, or he at least believes in Luffy and the crew for some reason, or who fucking knows? Maybe he's always been like that, and it's just no one's ever found those people again when
It's
he's
just
done.
that predeterminism that scares me, you know? That theory that Shanks always had this planned, you know?
Oh, don't get me fucking started on that.
I won't.
If
Don't,
Shanks
we
turns
don't
out
have
to be,
time.
oh, you know, actually, my friend Jax is obviously he's in Germany at Gamescom right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he actually like got me a One Piece fan for Film Red.
Wait, he got you a what?
He got me like a fan for Film Red.
Oh, okay.
You know, the Uta fans or something. You might have seen them. I don't know.
I have not seen them.
Yeah, it's just a bit of merch for the movie, and everything is super fucking cool.
I
But this
can't wait
chapter
for
was
that
pretty
movie.
cool. I'm really excited to see Crocodile again and Mihawk. Buggy is absolutely at his like most pathetic, to a point where
He's
actually...
falling upwards, man. Buggy is suffering from success.
This feels more like everything has come crashing down on him, actually.
It always has. It always has, though. This is par for the course. It's just now we're at the climax of Buggy's development, where it's like you are now an emperor with two fucking warlords breathing down your neck, angry at you for stealing that credit.
Yep.
And they're gonna use you as a fucking target. It's fucking great. He gets what he deserves. I love Buggy the Clown.
It's good seeing Crocodile back, because I think, you know, he's like my favorite
He's
villain.
my favorite. He's my favorite villain. The man's got swag. I love him so much. In my own original fucking work, I was designing a character for one of my villains in Paramedic, and I went, oh god, I just drew Croc. I had to. He's my favorite. He's so cool. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I think that's all we gotta say for this week. Like I said, we just play by ear. We have our triumvirates. Though our triumvirate's taking a break. So this week Chainsawman was on break. Next week One Piece is on break. So we're getting a little bit of a switch around is what we're doing. We sub one in for the other.
Oh, okay.
So it's a good
I'm looking
banging for
forward
good
to
pace.
Chainsaw Man, like, I think Denji is just gonna scuttle off like the fucking
Exactly, yeah,
cryptid
that's
that
all
you
we're gonna
said he
see.
is.
That's all we're gonna see. He's a cryptid. That's all we're getting. I
Yeah.
can't wait for the comments and the discourse get so upset. We're like, wait, where's he going? I'm like, it's not your pro tag. It's not your pro tag anymore. You want Denji? Reread part 1. It's great. Reread part 1. It's great.
Actually, it's about One Piece. Have you seen like the surfacing theory that I believe I said it before, that Gear 5 takes away Luffy's like humanity or something like that? I'll be honest with you, the instant it becomes a popular theory among One Piece fans, I'm like, it's like the Zoro stuff. It's probably not real at all.
Yeah, the king of hell, the lost son of Wano. Zoro fans are fucking delusional. We've said it before, and we will say it every fucking week. Zoro fans are fucking hilarious.
Yeah, kind of hungry.
And they're getting the win they deserve right now, because bounties are bullshit. But
oh yeah, they mean a lot to them.
But you know what? If anyone deserves to enjoy the bounties, it's the Zoro fans. They deserve it. Because they upset themselves every week. It's good for them to get a win.
Mm-hmm. I like the fact that Junpei has like a... actually, that's something. I don't care about the numbers on bounties, by the way. I like seeing the art on them. That's what I like, and I'm sad we didn't
Frankie's
actually...
is just the Thousand Sunny.
I'm sad we didn't see a Jinbei poster. Or I don't think we've seen a Jinbei poster.
I'm gonna double check, but yeah, but Frankie's is just the Thousand Sunny. They didn't even get him right. They think he's the ship for some fucking reason.
Why is... In fact...
Which I don't understand.
I actually don't understand either. Why the fuck do they have bounties in Wano? Is it everything that, like, the Admiral figured out?
Someone was spying on them.
Is it Sword? Is it Sword?
Someone was
snitching
spying on them, and they got this intel.
The only thing I can think is that Sword snitched on them.
Yeah, we don't see Brooks, but I'm assuming it's still the Soul King poster.
Yeah, the Soul King poster. Right?
We don't see Usopp's, but I'm gonna assume that's still the God thing. Basically, anyone we don't see, I'm assuming is still the same. But it's interesting that we don't see Robin's, because I feel like they'd use her new devil image.
That would be cool as fuck if they did, but it's like no one was actually around from the Navy except for CP9. It's like for CP9. Did the other one get away or did he freaking die?
What's that?
Did both of the CP9 agents, not CP9, CP0 agents die?
In the One Piece sense, I assume so.
Okay. They're probably gonna have like a fucking cover story or something. Oh, when I got absolutely fucked up by Wano, I awoke on a desert island. Now I have a beautiful wife. Something like that.
Right.
And I hate the government now.
Yeah, we actually don't really see much updated art from anyone besides Luffy.
Yeah,
And Frankie. Like I said, Frankie, they pictured the Thousand Sunny for whatever reason.
Yeah, so I'm not mad that... In fact, I'm not even mad. I'm not upset. I'm not even upset. I don't even know what I am. I'm disappointed. It's not a strong feeling. I just wanted... I love seeing the new art on the posters. I
agree.
But nothing will ever beat Sanji's original poster.
Absolutely.
Sanji has the best poster. His first poster is the absolute best poster in the series.
Fucking brilliant.
Except for the fact that then his next poster obviously brought up the topic of Dead or Alive.
Yeah, Dead or Alive, like the fact that that came up and how interesting.
In fact, no, only Wanted Alive. Wanted Only Alive. That was like the most... Sanji's posters have like the most impact, I feel.
They do.
Oh, I fucking love it. Anyway, let's fucking end this episode. Yeah,
we're running on time, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so next week we'll show me and Val's bounties. How about that?
That sounds sick. Valentine D. Stokes.
That is, so Val, okay, before we end this episode, talk about that certificate you got. That literally called you Valentine D. Stokes.
They couldn't be fucking bothered to write my full name, but for some reason they wrote the Valentine Arthur. Didn't bother with the rest of Drew Stokes. They just put D. I was like, what the fuck?
Because they know you have the will of D, motherfucker.
I'm not
That's your bounty. That's your bounty.
For. I'm not the man Roger's waiting for. I'd run the fuck away from Whitebeard.
But wait on us,
like,
audience.
Dad, don't fucking beat me up.
Until next time, guys. Take care.
Mind the gap as you exit our podcast safely. Rebuild of Joycast is hosted by Ivan LeRoy and Valentine Stokes. LeRoy's written and directed works can be found on the Joyride Entertainment YouTube channel and the soon-to-be-released original web manga, Paramedic. Val's dulcet tones can be heard in many of your favorite anime and web series, such as Ruby, Death Battle, Tribe 9, Lackadaisy Cats, and more. This episode was edited by Stina Carey, with YouTube version edited by Cody Rock. Music provided by Lo-Fi Geek. Intro and outro narration by Stina Carey. Outro music composed by Michael Pejovich. Logo and visuals designed by Ivan LeRoy. Rebuild of Joycast is produced by Joyride Entertainment and Rock Voice Productions LLC, and made possible thanks to Patreon donations from generous listeners like you. This month's highest tiered Patreon producers are Mr. Host, Austin, Gooner Bear, Jelly Donut, Jessica Tejas, and Fluffy Giggles McCool Kid. If you would like your name shouted out at the end of each podcast, an invite to our private Discord to interact with fans, cast and crew, or early access to all of our content, be sure to check out Joyride Entertainment's Patreon. Links provided in the description. Thank you for keeping Joyride's engine burning.